Hello everyone, welcome to Bright Tutee class. I am Deeksha. Students, as you know that we are conducting live session for science and maths for last 20 days. But today onwards, we have also started our live sessions for social science subjects, political science and history. And today I am Deeksha going to take your history class 8th class and chapter 1 how, when and where. Students, when you see this topic name, what do you think? What comes to your mind when you see this topic name? Can you tell me what is it about? Yes, many students are joining our live session. Good evening everyone. Good evening Dilip, Narendra Singh and Yangelia Elekar and Japam, Sanvi Singh and MIT Patel. There's some Gmail ID. Good evening to everyone students. Yeah, I have asked you one question. Can you guess what is this chapter about? Yeah, please answer me in the comments box section. I'm waiting for your reply, student. Yeah, I will tell you what this chapter is about. It is about history. Now you will obviously say, ma'am, what are you saying? This is history class. Obviously, we will study about history, right, student? So, but I want to tell you that in this chapter, we will study about history as a topic. Yes, in this chapter, we will study that why we should study history, first point, and second point, how we should study history. Basically, this chapter has been designed to ignite the interest of students in history. I can tell that many students have complained, ma'am, history is so boring. We do not want to study this. Science and maths have their practical purposes and science and maths have practical purposes and we can relate them to everyday life, but history we cannot relate. But student, it is not like that. History is as equal important as your other subjects. In this chapter, I will tell you how. So, let's begin with our chapter 1, how, when and where. But student, before I start this class, I want you to like our videos and subscribe to our channel on YouTube by pressing the bell icon. You can also like our page on Facebook, Insta and Twitter. And if you want online learning solution from class 6th to 10th, please register on our app which is called Bright Tutee app. Students, do not forget this. Yes, students. So, how important are dates? I was talking about that how you always complain that history is very boring. Okay. So, early historians were fascinated with dates. Fascinated with dates means they were only interested in writing the history of dates. History of dates as in what were the main things they were interested, like when a king was crowned, when a particular battle took place, what are the name of the kings, which were two regions who fought, and the dates related to it. Okay. And also you also think that history is synonyms with dates. Yes, student, I want to ask you one question here, that what is the most important date of your life? Yeah, we are talking about dates here. So I'm trying here to connect your these dates with your everyday life. In this chapter, basically, I'm going to talk about these things only, that how history is still related or history is related with our everyday life. Students, you can feel free to ask question, but I request you to ask question related to topic only. Okay, because we have less time, we have only 40 minutes in which I have to complete this topic also, and as well as answer your queries. So answer. Yeah, what is the most important date? Yes, students. So the most important date of my life, I can say it's my birthday. Yeah, for for you it's celebration purpose, for many of you, but otherwise for documentation also, for documents also, like an Aadhaar card, passport, passbook, in other certificates, your birth date is very important. Now you can question that why we should study about, or we should learn about someone other's birthday even if you are not related with that person. For example, Akbar birth date, or the some other ruler like Chandragupta Maurya, even though that record is not available properly, or some Gupta ruler, or some Delhi Sultanate ruler. About all these you have studied in your previous class. So why we should learn about these dates? But I want to ask you here how important are dates? But is it a vice versa? That but I can ask you also this question also like that. Are dates really important? क्या dates सच में important होती है history पढ़ने के लिए? Let's see. इस picture से तो सभी students जो हैं अच्छे से relate कर सकते हैं, like history reading and still thinking about dates, like thinking about dates and dates. So thinking about some 1920, 1942, 60, 1973, इस डेट में ये हुआ, इस डेट में ये हुआ. So you students ऐसे complain करते होंगे कि क्या I find history boring because it is all about memorizing dates. Okay, it is all about memorizing the dates. But I want to ask you one thing. Is such a conception true? Is history only about dates or remembering dates? No, students. No, students. It is not like that. History is about changes that occur over time. Yes, students. It is about finding out how things were in the past and how things have changed before and after. So basically, I want to tell you that history is not about a particular date or a particular event, but it is a gradual process that evolves over a long period of time. Okay, so it is about finding out how things were in the past, like something happened 1000 years ago or 1000 years ago, and how now that thing has evolved in present period. So it is a comparison between before and after. Students, are you getting this? So yeah, I want to ask you that some historical questions around us. Okay, historical questions जो हैं इस तरीके से, historical questions किस तरीके से जो है हमारे सराउंडेड हैं. एज इन मैं यहाँ आपसे ये नहीं पूछूंगी कि चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य कब हुआ, अशोका कब बॉर्न हुआ, या अकबर कब बॉर्न हुआ. इस तरह के हिस्टोरिकल क्वेश्चंस मैं नहीं पूछ रही. मैं आपसे हिस्टोरिकल क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ जो हमारी डे टू डे लाइफ से रिलेटेड है, जो हमारी डे टू डे लाइफ से सराउंडेड है. किस तरीके से? बहुत नॉर्मल चीज़ है जो आप एवरीडे रोज वो काम करते हैं. लाइक क्या आपने कभी ये सोचा है कि कब जो है लोगों ने चाय या कॉफ़ी पीनी स्टार्ट की? When did people begin to develop the taste of tea and coffee? And where did it begin? और या फिर न्यूज़पेपर्स जो हैं वो बहुत बाद में प्रिंट होना स्टार्ट हुए. ओके, बहुत बाद में मैं बोलूँ तो 17th century. It's like we are in 21st century. In the 17th century, newspaper they have started printing. Printing जो है न्यूज़पेपर्स की स्टार्ट हुई. पर इससे पहले लोग किस तरह से इंफॉर्मेशन एक दूसरे को देते थे या किस तरीके से इंफॉर्मेशन लोगों तक पहुंचाई जाती थी, ओके। और कब रेलवेज बनना स्टार्ट हुई, कब इंजन बना, रेलवे के कोचेस बने। सो ये इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस जो है हम अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ से हम जो है रिलेट कर सकते हैं। अब आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि हाँ लोगों ने एक दिन आए और लोगों ने चाय पीना शुरू कर दिया। इट्स नॉट अ सिंगल डे इवेंट। सिमिलरली न्यूज़पेपर जो प्रिंट हुआ, इट्स नॉट अ सिंगल डे इवेंट। यू कैन नॉट फिक्स दैट ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर डेट, लाइक सपोजिटली यू कैन से ऑन 20th June दिस 1661 न्यूज़पेपर जो है वो प्रिंट होना स्टार्ट हो गए। नो स्टूडेंट, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, इट्स अ ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस। और यू कैन नॉट डिफाइन वन डे कि हाँ जो अगर हम अपने नेशनल मूवमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं तो एक दिन नेशनल मूवमेंट हुआ और वो पर्टिकुलर इवेंट हमने डिसाइड कर लिया, ऐसा नहीं है। ये सारी चीज़ों के पीछे एक बैकग्राउंड है, एक हिस्ट्री है जो हमें पढ़ने की ज़रूरत है, ओके। सो through these examples I can tell you that history is not only about dates, okay. It's a gradual process, it's a everyday process, are you getting? Or everything has their own history, okay. like मैं बोलूँ कि मेरे जो मैंने क्लोथ्स पहन रखे हैं या आपने जो क्लोथ्स पहन रखे हैं उन सभी की जो है हिस्ट्री है, ठीक है। कैसे धीरे धीरे लोग किस तरह के कपड़े पहनते थे, किस तरह लोगों के कपड़े पहनने में बदलाव आया, चेंजेस आया। या सिमिलरली इवन फूड हैज़ इट्स ओन हिस्ट्री, ठीक है। फूड जो हम खाना खाते हैं वो धीरे धीरे उसमें क्या टेस्ट था, किस तरह के लोग थे, क्या एनवायरनमेंट था, उसके अकॉर्डिंग लोगों को खाना था। धीरे धीरे सिचुएशन चेंज हुई, एनवायरनमेंट चेंज हुई, उस तरह से लोगों की लाइफ में चेंज आया, ठीक है। These are the certain things that are still these things are revolved around us, और उसी के अकॉर्डिंग जो है हम हिस्ट्री पढ़ते हैं। स्टूडेंट समझ में आया आप लोग को? आप लोग के कोई डाउट इससे रिलेटेड तो प्लीज़ आप कमेंट सेक्शन में पूछ सकते हैं। और स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ मेरा क्वेश्चन है आप लोगों से, क्वेश्चन है कि कैन यू टेल मी द कंट्री इन विच for the first time tea was discovered, or the people have started drinking tea in which country? Can you tell me? Yes, answer me in the comments box section. Yes. So now let's move on with our lecture. But ऐसा क्यों है कि हम अभी भी हिस्ट्री को कुछ डेट्स के साथ ही रिलेट करते हैं? मैंने आपको प्रीवियस उसमें बताया कि हिस्ट्री जो है इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट डेट्स, इट इज अबाउट डेट्स एज वेल एज द अदर प्रोसेस, इट वाज द अदर ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस विच टुक ओवर सर्टन पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, ठीक है। इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट अ किंग, हिज किंगडम, बट वी नॉर्मल पीपल इवन वी कैन हैव आवर ओन हिस्ट्री। इट इज अदर थिंग दैट इट इज नॉट रिटर्न प्रॉपरली। अभी जो है इतनी नहीं लिखी गई है या अब लिखी जा रही है। सो दिस कंसेप्शन ऑफ हिस्ट्री इज चेंजिंग, you have to pay attention here, okay students. So history is not only like you memorizing dates and this thing, but it also about our common people, the things associated with us. But there is another certain kind of history where we talk about battles, big events and dates. It's a history of kings, kingdoms, etc. और अभी भी उस हिस्ट्री में अगर हम बात करते हैं तो डेट्स अभी भी इम्पॉर्टेंट होती हैं, ठीक है। डेट्स अभी भी इम्पॉर्टेंट होती हैं, ओके। जब हम बात करेंगे इस आने वाले इसी बुक के आने वाले चैप्टर्स की, जब हम बात करेंगे बैटल ऑफ प्लासी, बैटल ऑफ बक्सर, रिवोल्ट ऑफ 1857, सो दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डेट्स एंड यू हैव टू रिमेंबर इट, बट यू डोंट हैव टू रिमेंबर ईच एंड एवरी डेट गिवन इन द बुक, ओके। So students, are you getting me? Yeah. So what kind of history nowadays historians are writing? What is the changing conception of history? What is the shift? Yeah. Historians now write about a host of other issues and other questions. Okay. Historians जो हैं they have write about host of other issues And what are the other issues here we are talking about? The other issues are how people have earned their livelihood. Are you realizing this? We are shifting from one group to another. Earlier we were talking about kings, nobilities, these people, but now the focus has been shifted from them to common people, to normal people. How we are living, what is our livelihood, what we are growing, what we are eating, and how cities are developing, how markets are developing. So such kind of history जो है, इस तरह की हिस्ट्री जो है अब लिखना स्टार्ट हो गए हैं. ठीक है. I want to ask you one question, students, that I want to ask you students कि किस तरह जो है I want to ask you one question in which you live in a city or wherever place. So can you tell me the origin of your city? जब आपकी सिटी कौन से ईयर में डेवलप हुई और कैसे डेवलप हुई? Can you answer me? Yeah, I'll wait for you in the comment box section. Yes, students, once again I want to remind you that please do not forget to subscribe our channel and like this video. Okay, you can also register on our Bright Tutee app for digital learning classes and assignments. Okay, students. Yeah, we have talked about dates, we have talked about the shift of writing in history, but still some dates are important, or while writing history, dates are important. Okay, so dates become vital. Why? Because we focus on particular set of events. Okay, we focus on particular set of events. इस चीज को मैं यहाँ समझाना चाहूँगी कि किस तरह जो है सिर्फ इंडिया की जो हिस्ट्री लिखी गई कब, ब्रिटिश पीरियड में, से वो कुछ लोगों तक ही सराउंडेड थी. ठीक है, हम यहाँ पर ब्रिटिश इंडिया का इसलिए एग्जाम्पल लेंगे क्योंकि कि हमने 6th क्लास में वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट एंशिएंट इंडिया. ठीक है, 7th क्लास में वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट दिल्ली सल्तनत पीरियड एंड द मुगल रूलर्स. ओके, इन 8th क्लास, in this book, History, Our Past, Part 3, we will talk about the Britishers. Okay, the coming of Britishers in our country as traders and how they have turned into rulers of our country, and they subjugated Indian people politically, economically, socially. So these details we will discuss in different chapters later on. So यहाँ जो एग्जाम्पल लिया गया है वो ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियन का लिया गया है, ब्रिटिशर्स का लिया गया है. In the histories written by British historians in India, the rule of each governor general was important. Okay, जो ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियंस थे उन्होंने इंडिया की जो हिस्ट्री लिखी उसमें रूल ऑफ ईच गवर्नर जनरल. Who was governor general? Governor General was the representative of the monarch of Britain. Okay, and who was the monarch of Britain at that time? Yes, the monarch of Britain at that time was Queen Elizabeth. Okay, so these governor generals were the representative of Queen. They came to India to rule here. Okay, these are some of the governor generals of India: Warren Hastings, Curzon, William Bentinck, Lord Mountbatten. There were many others: Lytton, Ripon, Canning, Cornwallis, or Linlith Glow. There were many governor generals that ruled in different periods of India. Okay, so Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of India, and Lord Mountbatten was the last. He was there when India got independence. Okay, in 1947. Okay, students. So Warren Hastings. So Warren Hastings was there, and Curzon. They are different governor generals, but actually the history written by British historian revolved around these personalities only. Okay, these personalities only, as in means it's about their achievement, about their policies, about their activities, what they have done, all these things. Okay, so British historians write the history of India by thinking about these people only. In the previous slide, I have told you dates become vital because we focus on particular set of events. So what are the set of events here? Okay, so set of events here are the policies and the activities of these governor generals. The chronology of their lives marked the different chapters of the history of British India. Okay, the chronology means the sequence wise. Even if we say that Warren Hastings became Governor General in 1772, or Curzon was there in 1905, William Bentinck was there during the Sati Pratha, when Sati system was abolished, and Lord Mountbatten was during the Indian independence. So this chronology of their lives marked the different chapters of the history of British India. क्या होते हैं स्टूडेंट्स, हम जब भी हिस्ट्री लिखते हैं हम डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स में लिखते हैं. इवन आपकी बुक भी जो है वो डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स में डिवाइडेड है. ठीक है, डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स में डिवाइडेड है. तो इसी तरह जो है जब ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियंस ने इंडिया की हिस्ट्री लिखी तो जो डिफरेंट चैप्टर्स बने थे वो और किसी चीज़ से रिलेटेड नहीं थे. ठीक है, वो बस इन्हीं गवर्नर जनरल्स की एक्टिविटीज़ और पॉलिसीज से रिलेटेड थे, इन्हीं के बारे में लिखी गई थी. बट स्टूडेंट्स, क्या आप आयरनी देख सकते हैं? यहाँ पर ब्रिटिशर्स इंडिया में रूल कर रहे हैं, इंडिया में रूल कर रहे थे और इंडिया के लोगों के बारे में लिख रहे थे, बट डायरेक्टली उनके बारे में नहीं लिख रहे थे, इनकी एक्टिविटीज के थ्रू उनके बारे में लिखा गया था. और इसका क्या मतलब था? The activities of Indians simply do not fit. According to them, Indians they do not have their own history, and Indians जो है उनका कोई स्थान नहीं था हिस्ट्री लिखने में, या किसी भी चीज़ की हिस्ट्री लिखने में इंडियंस का कोई स्पेस नहीं था. And no focus on the activities of different groups and classes in Indian society. Students, this is very important. This is very important because अभी मैंने आपको प्रीवियस स्लाइड्स में बताया कि किस तरह जो है न्यू काइंड ऑफ हिस्ट्री जो है वो लिखी जा रही है. अबाउट द लाइवलीहुड ऑफ पीपल, अबाउट डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स. आई वॉज टॉकिंग अबाउट द women and the marginalized section and the artisans, farmers, all these people. Okay, and the other classes of India also, about the Dalits and the different caste. Okay, so but such kind of history do not exist during the British period. जो इंडिया में डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स रह रहे थे, डिफरेंट क्लासेस रह रही थी, उनके बारे में तो किसी ने लिखा ही नहीं. सिर्फ वो अपनी ही, जो ब्रिटिश हिस्टोरियन लिख रहे थे वो अपनी ही हिस्ट्री लिखते जा रहे थे जहां इंडियंस का कोई मेंशन नहीं था. बट आई वांट टू आस्क यू हियर, कैन वी नॉट राइट अबाउट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ दिस पीरियड इन अ डिफरेंट वे? क्या हम इस तरह की हिस्ट्री, इस पीरियड की हिस्ट्री को एक अलग वे में नहीं लिख सकते? अलग वे जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि हाउ अर्लियर हिस्टोरियंस वर interested in dates only, and they were interested with the kings and the kingdoms and their histories. Okay, and the जो उनका फोकस था वो धीरे धीरे शिफ्ट होता जा रहा है. सिमिलरली इस पीरियड की हिस्ट्री भी जो है डिफरेंट वे में क्या लिखी जा सकती है? Yes, students, we need another format for our history with new set of dates. Okay, हम जो है इस पीरियड की हिस्ट्री को डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट में लिख सकते हैं और ये लिखी भी गई है जो हम आगे पढ़ेंगे. Okay, how do we periodize? अभी तक स्टूडेंट्स हमने डिस्कस किया why we should study history. ओके हमने अभी तक डिस्कस किया कि किस तरह जो है हिस्ट्री वॉज नॉट ओनली अबाउट dates, it is also about other processes also, other people also. Everything has its own history which we can relate with everyday life, and how Britishers have written our history. In brief, I have talked about it, but now in detail I will talk that how Britishers periodize our Indian history. Yes students, let's start. Here, this is James Mill. James Mill was a Scottish economist and political philosopher. Okay, he has written a book called History of British India. It's a thick 3-volume book which he had written, and he divided the Indian history into 3 periods. Okay, and what were those 3 periods? Hindu, Muslim and British. Okay, in class 6, and on what basis was this classification was done? This was done on the basis of your 3 books you have studied in your class 6, 7th and now 8th. Hindu period was related with ancient India, in which you have talked about rulers like Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka, Harshvardhan, all these Satavahanas and everyone. And then Muslim period was related with Delhi Sultanate period and Mughal period. In previous class, you have talked about those people, okay, and those rulers, those important rulers. And this period which we are talking about, this is British period. Okay, British period. So basically James Mill divided Indian history into 3 periods: Hindu, Muslim and British. But students, can you tell me, is this classification was good? Was it a reasonable classification? You have to pay attention here, because it was your textbook question also. What was the problem with periodization given by James Mill? The main problem with this periodization was that the history was divided on the basis of religion. Means ancient period belonged to Hindu period, medieval period belonged to Muslim period, and this modern period belonged to British period. Okay, so this was the classification done by him. But do you think this was the sensible classification? No, because it's not like that in the ancient period only Hindu rulers ruled India, and during the medieval period only Muslim rulers in India. And this British thing we will discuss in my coming slides. So this was the main problem with the periodization by James Mill. And another important theory given by James Mill we will discuss in this slide. Okay, so Hindus, according to him, what he said, Hindus and Muslims, they were despotic rulers. Despotic ruler means dictator ruler. They have tyranny, they have absolute powers. They were brutal, they were cruel rulers. Such kind of rulers were during Hindu and Muslim period. And there was religious intolerance. What is religious intolerance? Means religious intolerance means लोग जो है एक दूसरे के रिलीजन को मानना पसंद नहीं करते थे, मतलब अपने रिलीजन को दूसरे रिलीजन से ज़्यादा बढ़ावा देना. So such things were prevalent during Hindu period and Muslim period. There were caste taboos and there were superstitious practices. So such arguments were given by James Mill. Okay, and what is the theory he had given? He talked about white man's burden. They are white man, and it's the burden. You can see in this cartoon how he's carrying these Asian people on his shoulders. और इस आप कार्टून में देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ on the top of a hill civilization is sitting. Symbolic civilization is sitting. Okay, एंड दीज वर द ऑब्स्टिकल्स. ये ऑब्स्टिकल्स वाइट मैन को, यूरोपियन लोगों को उठानी पड़ रही है. क्यों उठानी पड़ रही है? क्योंकि उन्हें इन एशियन पीपल को सिविलाइज बनाना है. इट इज देयर ड्यूटी टू सिविलाइज देम. अकॉर्डिंग टू देम इंडियंस वर बार्बरिक. They were uncivilized. They do not know anything. They do not have sense of history and everything. So it is their duty to civilize them. And these are the obstacles you can see in this picture: slavery and the cruelty, ignorance, cannibalism, brutality, etc. etc. So इन सब मुसीबतों को पार करके यूरोपियंस की ये ड्यूटी है इंडियंस को सिविलाइज बनाना. दिस वॉज द थ्योरी दैट वॉज given by Europeans. Okay. Similarly, in another picture, I want to show you this kind of thinking. यूरोपियंस की जो इस तरह की थिंकिंग थी कि हाँ इंडियन सिविलाइजर, हमें उन्हें सिविलाइज बनाना है. सो इस पिक्चर में आप देख सकते हैं, दिस इज ब्रिटानिया. एंड हु इज ब्रिटानिया? ब्रिटानिया इज द सिंबल ऑफ ब्रिटिश पावर. ओके, ब्रिटानिया इज द सिंबल ऑफ ब्रिटिश पावर. एंड these are the Indian pandits. These are the Indian pandits. और ये जो ब्रिटानिका को आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि कुछ जो है सेक्रेट कुछ टेक्स्ट दे रहे हैं उसको. सो इस पिक्चर में क्या डिपिक्ट किया गया है कि ब्राह्मण्स जो हैं वो अपने एंशियंट टेक्स्ट जो हैं, जो अपने शास्त्रार्थ जो हैं, वो ब्रिटानिया के हाथ में थमा रहे हैं. क्यों? ताकि वो उनकी प्रोटेक्टर बन जाए. इंडियन कल्चर का जो है, इंडियन कल्चर की जो है वो प्रोटेक्टर, एक मिनट, इंडियन कल्चर की जो है वो प्रोटेक्टर बन जाए. ओके स्टूडेंट, सो इस तरह से हमें पता लगता है कि ब्रिटिशर्स जो हैं वो सोचते थे कि इंडियंस दे डू नॉट हैव देयर ओन सेंस ऑफ हिस्ट्री, दे आर अनसिविलाइज्ड, दे आर बार्बरिक. सो इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ यूरोपियंस टू सिविलाइज देम, टू टीच देम, टू प्रोटेक्ट देम. ठीक है. And how they can protect them? They can protect them by introducing European manners, arts, institutions and laws in India. Okay, so the European manners and arts institution, educational institution and the laws which were introduced by Europeans, which we'll study in the later part of our book. एंड बाय कॉन्करिंग ऑल द टेरिटरीज इन इंडिया. क्यों कॉन्कर करने की जरूरत है? क्योंकि इंडियंस को प्रोटेक्ट करने की जरूरत है. वो अपने आप को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं, इसलिए. एंड टू इंश्योर द एनलाइटनमेंट. Enlightenment means to give them, okay, to give them knowledge, because they are knowledgeless, they do not have knowledge, and the happiness of Indian people. So this was the argument given by Europeans to rule Indians. Okay students, so I have talked about the periodization given by James Mill and the Europeans, but historians also, like other historians, they classified Indian history into three parts: ancient, medieval and modern. Okay, ancient, medieval and modern period. Ancient you have studied in your class 6, medieval you have studied in your class 7th, and modern period you will study in your class 8th. Right students? So this was the classification given by other historians, but there was problem with this classification also. Yes students, what is the problem with this classification? It is borrowed from West. Okay, it is borrowed from West. West here we are talking about the European countries like Britain and the France, such countries, and the classification here I have talked about, it is borrowed from West. And also modern period was associated with the forces of modernity. Modern means you imagine there are modern things, okay, and what were those modern things? Science, equality, democracy. Science with the discovery of new things, new invention. Science, it is related with modern period. Equality among citizens. Okay, there should be no discrimination जो है किसी भी सिटीजन के बीच में, कोई भी लोगों के बीच में जो है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं होना चाहिए. And democracy. What is democracy? Democracy is when the head of government is elected by people, means everyone is exercising their rights. They are giving votes, okay? They are giving votes and they are electing their head. Okay, so these are the forces which are related with modern period. Okay, but have you heard that these things were present in British period? Britishers said that in this slide, British period. Okay, we have talked about third period is British period, and this classification modern, so it means British period. Here he said British period is modern period. इसका ये मतलब हुआ कि ब्रिटिश जो है वो मॉडर्न पीरियड है. पर अगर ब्रिटिशर्स का मॉडर्न पीरियड था तो क्या सच में मॉडर्न पीरियड के फीचर्स जो है वो ब्रिटिश पीरियड में अवेलेबल थे? क्या लोगों के पास लिबर्टी थी, इंडियंस को लिबर्टी थी या फ्रीडम थी अपने राइट्स की, या अपना ऑक्यूपेशन चूज करने की, या अपने लाइवलीहुड अपने तरीके से जीने की, सोशल कस्टम्स अपने खुद फॉलो करने के, एंड इक्वालिटी. स्टूडेंट्स, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. I have chosen this picture particularly because in this picture you can see inequality on the basis of the races. You can see the color of the skin. Okay, so there was the people, the people were, or rather I would say the Indians were discriminated on the basis of their races. Okay, race के बेस पे लोगों के साथ जो है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता था. So liberty, freedom and equality, nothing was present during the British period. बट फिर हम उसको मॉडर्न पीरियड कैसे बोल सकते हैं? क्योंकि हमने तो बात की कि मॉडर्न पीरियड जो है वो ये सब फीचर्स थे मॉडर्न पीरियड के. तो फिर हमें इस पीरियड को क्या कहना चाहिए? हिस्टोरियंस में ये भी डिस्कस हुआ कि अगर हम इसको मॉडर्न पीरियड नहीं कह सकते तो हमें इस पीरियड को क्या कहना चाहिए. ओके, और इस पीरियड में जो है इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड प्रोग्रेस भी नहीं थी, जो कि मॉडर्न पीरियड के और फीचर्स हैं. ठीक है, यस. सो हिस्टोरियंस ने इस पीरियड को नया नाम दिया एंड दैट इज कॉलोनियल पीरियड. यस स्टूडेंट्स, इंडियन हिस्ट्री आफ्टर एंशियंट एंड मिडीवियल period, the third period is known as colonial period. Why? Because the feature of colonialism was present in India. Here we are talking in context of India only, students. Okay, so what were the features of colonialism? We will see. And what is colonialism actually? Subjugation of one country by another. One country, you can see India, by another, Britain. So subjugation of India by Britain leads to political, economic, social and cultural changes. It is colonization. So जब एक कंट्री दूसरी कंट्री को subjugate करती है, उस पर रूल करती है, and rule it's not normal rule, you can say it's a subjugation. So what kind of subjugation? Political, economic, social, culture, हर फील्ड में जब सिटीजन्स का या लोगों का जब subjugation होता है, and that is colonization. This picture depicts the feature of colonization, or you can say a picture of colonization where these people are colonizing the Indians. British, they are colonizing the Indians. Okay students, so colonization में क्या क्या फीचर्स जो बेसिकली हम डिस्कस करेंगे आगे आने वाले चैप्टर्स में. कंट्रोल ओवर द इकोनॉमी एंड सोसाइटी. इकोनॉमी और सोसाइटी पे कंट्रोल कैसे? उनके टैक्स कलेक्ट करके उस रेवेन्यू को इंडिया के डेवलपमेंट में न यूज करके ब्रिटेन की डेवलपमेंट में यूज करना, वहां पे इंडस्ट्री इस्टेब्लिश करना. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, बॉट द गुड्स एट लो प्राइसेस, produced crops for export, जो है यहाँ पे गुड्स लो प्राइसेस में खरीद कर, क्यों? क्योंकि यहाँ जो है जो फार्मर्स थे, पेजेंट्स थे, दे वर फोर्स टू ग्रो डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स so that bought the goods at low prices, produce crops so that they can buy at low prices, because they can force them, they can hit them and whatever they want to, and produce crops for export. One was cotton. Cotton was grown here, it was exported to Britain, the clothes were manufactured there, and then this kind of exploitation. Changes in values and taste, customs and practices. किस तरह जो है वैल्यूज में और कस्टम्स और प्रैक्टिसेस में जो है ब्रिटेन ने जो है चेंजेस लाए. सो दीज वर द फीचर्स ऑफ कॉलोनियल रूल, और यू कैन से कॉलोनियल पीरियड. स्टूडेंट्स, ये आपको ओवरव्यू थोड़ा ध्यान रखने की ज़रूरत है. क्यों? क्योंकि ये ही इन सब के बारे में हम डिटेल में अपने आने वाले चैप्टर्स में पढ़ेंगे. ओके स्टूडेंट, सो बेसिकली इस लेक्चर में हमने सबसे पहले पढ़ा कि हमें हिस्ट्री पढ़ना क्यों ज़रूरी है. Why is it important to study history? Okay, history is not only about dates, it's not only about memorizing the dates, it's about other things also. As I have told you about, history is also related with our everyday life. One example I can also give you about Independence Day. Okay, Independence Day, one example is Independence Day. It is we celebrate Independence Day every day, okay, like present, but it happened in 1947, so it is still related with our present time. Something happened in past and still related with our present time. So you cannot ignore history by saying that okay, it is only related with past, we do not want to read this or we do not want to study this. It's not like that. Whatever happened in past is still relevant in our present time, whether in terms of policy, in terms of institutions, in terms of customs, practice, religion, okay, everything. Okay, that was one part. In another part of history we have studied, in another part of lecture we have studied about the different periods of history that were classified by James Mill into Hindu, Muslim, British, okay, and how he talked about the white man's burden theory, that it is the responsibility of Europeans to civilize the Indians, okay. And we have also talked about the British historians, how they have written history, how it was only revoltees there us, and they get any space in the histories written by them. And also we have read a modern period. It's associated with science, democracy, and and equality, freedom, which were not present in British India. So that's why that period was termed as colonial period rather than modern period. Okay students, so let's finish our class here, and if you have any doubts you can ask in the comments box section, and we will meet in the next class where we will study that how we can study history, like with the help of what kind of documents and what kind of surveys we can study history. So at the end of the lecture, once again I want to remind you to like our videos and subscribe on Bright Tutee channel, and please register on our Bright Tutee app for courses from class 6th to 10th. Thank you.